I made every team's best fighter a 99 overall in NHL 24. That is right. Shout out to this guy for this video idea. He said, do the best team's fighter on each team, so whoever has the best fighting skill, they become a 99 overall. That would be fun to watch. So congratulations, your wish has been granted. I've gone across the entire league, making every single team's best fighter or who had the best fighting skill on that team literally the best overall you can get in an NHL game, which is a 99 overall. So let's go ahead, take a look at every player that it upgraded and see who now is the best players in the NHL. So starting off with the Anaheim Ducks, it is going to be Ross Johnston, 99 overall, 29 years of age. For the Arizona Coyotes, it will be Shea Weber. Technically, he doesn't play. He's retired, but he's still in the game and still under contract. For the Boston Bruins, it's going to be none other than Milan Lucic, 99 overall, getting up there in age though, 35 years of age. For Buffalo, it will be their captain, Kyle Okposo. For the Calgary Flames, it's going to be AJ Greer. For Carolina, it will be Brent Burns, who is almost damn near 40 years of age. For Chicago, it's going to be Jared Tenorti, 99, of course, only 31, still pretty young. For Colorado, it'll be Josh Manson. For the Columbus Blue Jackets, it'll be Bruce Jenner, now known as Caitlyn Jenner, of course. We lost a former Olympian. For the Dallas Stars, it'll be Mason Marchment, 28 years old. Ben Sherrod of the Detroit Red Wings. For the Edmonton Oilers, it'll be their newest addition in Corey Perry, also very old, 38 years old. Jonah Godokovic for the Florida Panthers. For the LA Kings, it'll be Alex Lafreniere, not the one that is a bust, but the other one that has the same exact name. He was drafted also in 2020, but in the third round, 83rd overall by LA. For the Minnesota Wild, it'll be Marcus Foligno. For the Montreal Canadiens, it's going to be none other than Wi-Fi Arbor Jacki, also very young, still only 22 years old, and this dude already is a unit in the NHL, bashing skulls in left and right. For Nashville, it'll be Luke Shen. The New Jersey Devils are going to have Kevin Ball. He actually had one of the highest fighting skill ratings in the entire game. For the New York Islanders, it obviously will be Matt Martin, 99 overall, 34 years old. For the Rangers, it's going to be Chris Kreider. For the Ottawa Senators, Zach McEwen. I honestly might be butchering that name, but regardless, he's going to be a 99. Nicolas Deslauriers for the Philadelphia Flyers. This dude is one of the only goons left in the game, him and like Ryan Reeves maybe. Now for the Pittsburgh Penguins, it's going to be Drew O'Connor. I never heard of this guy before, 25 years old, 99 overall, but he did have an 80 fighting skill. Pittsburgh doesn't really have a lot of goons on their team. For the San Jose Sharks, it's going to be Giovanni Smith. For the Seattle Kraken, it'll be Jamie Oleksiak. St. Louis is going to have Colton Parayko. The Tampa Bay Lightning are going to have Tanner Jeannot. For the Toronto Maple Leafs, obviously, it'll be Ryan Reeves. For Vancouver, Nikita Zadorov. The Vegas Golden Knights are going to have Keegan Kolesier. I believe I'm probably butchering that name as well. For the Washington Capitals, it'll be none other than Tom Wilson. And finally, for the Winnipeg Jets, it's going to be David Gustafsson. Those are all the players that have made a 99 overall. Now we have a 5-year simulation to see who dominates the NHL, with new players being the best players in the entire league. But before we go ahead and simulate, if you guys do enjoy videos like this, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss a single live stream or video that I put out. Now, at the end of season number 1, Milan Lucic is going to carry the Boston Bruins to the best record in the entire NHL as they went 53, 24, and 5. Good enough for 111 points. Followed by Ryan Reeves and the Toronto Maple Leafs. New York was up there. Dallas was pretty good. The Pittsburgh Penguins won 47 games. Buffalo was very good as well. That's kind of surprising. Edmonton, Columbus. Now at the bottom, we have the Ottawa Senators, Calgary Flames, and St. Louis Blues. Bruce Jenner is going to go ahead and lead the entire NHL in scoring with 130 points, followed by Nikita Kucherov's 126. Tom Wilson had 121. Braden Point was up there. McDavid and Pasternak. Corey Perry had a good season with 118 points. Matthews was up there. Now for the goal side, David Pasternak will lead with 64 tucks. Matthews had 61. Kucherov 54. Corey Perry had 54. Ovi was up there at 53. DeBrincat. Bedard as a rookie at 52. Bedard's tearing up now after he came back from his injury. Had a 3-point night, and I suspect he's going to continue to dominate and win the Calder Trophy. Now for defenseman, Erik Karlsson is going to lead with 95 points. Colton Parayko did have 85 and 35 goals. A damn near 40-goal season by a D-man is crazy. Tenorti at 85. Brent Burns was up there, 38 goals and 83 points. Makar, we already know, doesn't simulate that that well. For goaltenders, I didn't mess with any, but Igor Shesterkin is going to lead in wins with 42, followed by Ottinger's 40. Merzlikins had 39. And for the shutout side, UC Saros will lead. He had 6 shutouts on the season. Stuart Skinner had 5. Ville Husso 5. And this is our playoff bracket in season number 1. And in the Stanley Cup Finals, we have the Vancouver Canucks up against the New York Rangers. Very weird matchup, but nonetheless, we are here. Let's see who goes on and takes home the Stanley Cup at the end of year number 1. And Nikita Zadorov is going to end up leading the Vancouver Canucks to their very first Stanley Cup in their franchise's history. They nearly blew it. They had a 3-0 lead, lost 2 straight games, but luckily clutched it up here on home ice because they probably would have lost, headed back game 7 to New York if they did not win this game here in game number 6, but they are going to get it done over the Rangers in the finals. As the best teammate in the NHL, JT Miller is going to get the Conn Smythe 7 goals and I believe 24 points, as he's going to win his very first cup and his very first Conn Smythe in his entire career. Didn't JT Miller play on the Washington Capitals? Where did he come from before Vancouver? I feel like he played on Washington, but I literally cannot remember. And there it is, the Stanley Cup. Going to be raised in Vancouver. No more riots. Even after Pekka Pasta did defeat them in the Stanley Cup Finals, here's their captain, Quinn Hughes, coming to lift the cup for the very first time in his career and in franchise history. So JT Miller is going to end up leading the entire NHL in scoring for the playoffs with 31 points, and he actually came from Tampa Bay and the Rangers, only played 1 season in Tampa Bay. Elias Pettersson had 12 goals and 30 points, Zibanejad 30, Breadman 30, Chris Kreider had 27, Kyle Connor was up there as well, Brock Besser had 22. Nikita Kucherov is going to take home the Ted Lindsay and the Hart Trophy. The Art Ross will go to Bruce Jenner and Maurice Richard, to David Pastrnak, the Norris to Erik Karlsson, the Conn Smythe, of course, will go to JT Miller. Tristan Jarry is going to win the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Ryan O'Reilly. So at the end of season number 2, the Seattle Kraken are going to go on and be the best team in the regular season as they went 52, 25, and 5, followed by the Colorado Avalanche. The Red Wings were up there with 45 wins. Philadelphia, Winnipeg, New Jersey. Wait a minute, only one team won 50 games in the regular season? That's kind of crazy. Maybe what I did to the NHL, I made it way more competitive. I mean, we got so many 40-win teams. Now at the bottom, we do have the LA Kings, the Columbus Blue Jackets, St. Louis is always going to be bad, San Jose, Montreal, Les Canadiens. Bruce Jenner again is going to lead the NHL in scoring, this time with 134 points, followed by Nikita Kucherov's 122. Jason Robertson was up there. Mason Marchment had 111. Point and Pasta was up there. McDavid. Gustafsson had 106. David Gustafsson, I believe his career high before that is probably like 6 points in the NHL, which is kind of crazy. So he hit a new career high, 37 goals and 106 points. Now for goals, Kucherov will lead with 57, followed by Connor Bedard's 56. Chris Kreider had 54. Bruce Jenner was up there, 54. Lafreniere, not the one that's a bust, but you get the point. He had 53. Kyle Connor was up there. Matthews, of course, is always going to score a lot of goals. Now for defenseman, Shea Weber is going to lead, 36 goals and 98 points. Erik Karlsson had 90. Colton Parayko, 87. Makar was up there. Alexiak had 35 goals and 83 points. Luke Schenn had a 30-goal season as a D-man. Ville Husso is going to lead all goalies and wins with 41. And for shutouts, it's going to be Andrei Vasilevsky with 6. This is our playoff matchups here in season number 2. So let's see who goes on and advances to the Stanley Cup Finals. And now in the Stanley Cup Finals, we probably have the most heated matchup we could get between the Edmonton Oilers and Toronto Maple Leafs. McDavid versus Matthews, Corey Perry versus Ryan Reeves. This is what we wanted to see, so let's see who goes on and is going to take home that Stanley Cup. And the Edmonton Oilers are going to get it done over the Toronto Maple Leafs in Maple Leaf fashion. I mean, Game 7 choke after the Oilers had a 3-1 series lead, blew that, and we're in Game 7. Of course, in Game 7, you know Toronto cannot win that. Corey Perry and Connor McDavid are going to lead the Oilers over Ryan Reeves and Auston Matthews, proving to be not only the better team, but also the better players of the two. I mean, that was pretty self-explanatory. Nobody thinks Matthews is better than McDavid anyways. Corey Perry is going to end up taking home the Conn Smythe, 15 goals and 28 points for him, outscoring McDavid probably. I mean, I'm willing to bet so, considering he did win the Conn Smythe. And there it is. Toronto's going to have to watch the Stanley Cup being raised in their home barn. But not for them, as the curse continues. The Oilers finally win their very first Stanley Cup since, I believe, Mark Messier way back a long time ago. Here is McDavid lifting the cup for the very first time in his career, as the Oilers have won it all here in year number 2. Matthews will lead the playoffs in scoring with 35 points, followed by Nylander's 34. Mitch Marner had 31. Corey Perry, 28, of course. He was the Conn Smythe winner. Ryan Reeves had 12 goals and 27 points. McDavid had 27. Draisaitl was up there as well as Kyle Connor. Caitlyn Jenner is going to win the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Kucherov will take home the Maurice Richard, the Norris to Shea Weber, the Conn Smythe to Corey Perry. The Vezina is going to go to Decord, and the Selke will go to Austin Matthews. So now at the end of season number 3, the defending Stanley Cup winners, which are the Edmonton Oilers, just like they will be in real life at the end of this season. They are going to be the best team in the regular season, as they went 51, 25, and 6, followed by the Tampa Bay Lightning. Dallas was up there, Winnipeg, Vancouver, and Carolina. Now at the bottom, we have Chicago, New York, Arizona, and again, the goddamn St. Louis Blues. Connor McDavid is going to go ahead and lead the entire NHL in scoring with 129 points, followed by David Gustafson's 20, also had 52 goals. Corey Perry had 119. Caitlyn Jenner was up there at 112. Godovic had 109. Sam Reinhart had a pretty good season. Now for the goal side, Godovic is going to lead the entire league with 59 on the season, followed by Kaprizov's 58, Corey Perry 53, Gustafson had 52, Ovi was up there as well as Caitlin, Bedard had 51, Pasta 50. Now for defensemen, Oleksiak will lead. He had 40 goals and 89 points. Absolutely crazy season by a D-man. Zadorov had 89, Brent Burns 86, Luke Schenn 86, or 85 I should say. Bobrovsky is going to lead in wins for goalies with 43. Cam Talbot had 41, as well as Stuart Skinner, two former Oilers goaltenders. Actually, Skinner's not a former one, he's the current one. But for the shutout side, Freddie Anderson and Vasi are going to tie at 6 apiece. Here we go yet again. This is our playoff bracket for year number 3. So let's see who goes on and makes the Stanley Cup Finals. And in the Stanley Cup Finals, we have the Dallas Stars up against the Detroit Red Wings. Very weird Stanley Cup Final matchup, but hey, I'm all for it. Let's see who goes on and wins the Stanley Cup at the end of season number 3. And the Dallas Stars are going to absolutely run through the Red Wings in 5 games in the finals, kind of like how your ex-girlfriend did when you guys were dating and she cheated on you a bunch and it ruined your life and you fell into a deep hole of depression, and it took a real toll on your body, so then you had to turn to alcohol. You know what? This is getting way out of hand. I have to stop myself right now. Regardless, the Red Wings are going to get it done. I believe the 99 overall on their team is Mason Marchment. Think that's who I upgraded. Regardless, here is the Conn Smythe winner. It is going to be Mason Marchment. 24 goals and 34 points. The best playoff run so far. I mean, 24 goals is literally an NHL record for most goals in a playoff run. And here is their captain, Jamie Benn, coming to lift the Stanley Cup for the very first time in his career. Couldn't get it done in 2020, but now has finally got it done as the Stars are Stanley Cup champions. Now, obviously, Mason Marchment is going to lead the NHL in scoring with 24 goals and 34 points in the postseason. Jason Robertson had 31, Patrick Kane 31, Dylan Larkin was up there, Sam Reinhart had 28, Rope Hintz 28. Connor McDavid is going to take home the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Godovic is going to win the Maurice Richard, the Norris to Nikita Zadorov, the Conn Smythe to Marchment, of course. The Vezina will go to Freddie Anderson, and the Selke is going to go to Austin Matthews yet again. Now, at the end of year number 4, the Tampa Bay Lightning are going to finish as the best team in the NHL. Technically, they were tied with the Rangers, but I guess they won the season series as both teams went 49, 25, and 8 for 106 points. Nashville was up there, 48 wins. Winnipeg was up there as well. Carolina, Columbus, Boston. Now at the bottom, we have the San Jose Sharks, Anaheim, and Montreal, the same teams pretty much. Bruce Jenner again is going to lead the entire NHL in scoring, this time with 123 points, followed by Matthews, 122. Nylander had 120. McKinnon and McDavid were up there. Johnny Hockey, Corey Perry had a big season, as well as Kyle Okposo, who had 105 points. Now for goals, Matthews is going to lead with 58, followed by Alex Lafreniere, who had 57. Delorier had 52. I'm sorry, I just can't imagine this guy scoring fucking 52 goals in the NHL. That's just crazy. Droff had 49, Bedard was up there. Brock Besser had 48. Parayko had 47 as a D-man, damn near 50 goal season. He is obviously going to dominate the Norris and dominate all defensemen. Also had 104 points. That might be one of the best. Brent Burns had 88 and 33 goals. Tenorti was up there at 87. Oleksiak, 83. Vasi's going to lead in wins with 45. And for shutouts, it's going to be a 4-way tie Between Freddie Andersen, the man who shall not be named, Korpisalo, and Hellebuyck, yet again, here we are, Stanley Cup playoffs. This is our bracket. Here is our matchups. And in the Stanley Cup Finals, we have the Nashville Predators up against Milan Lucic and the Boston Bruins, as he must have carried them here. So let's see who goes on and takes home the Stanley Cup at the end of year number 4. And the Boston Bruins are going to go on and defeat the Nashville Predators in 6 games in the Stanley Cup Finals, as they would dominate. Milan Lucic would also dominate and carry the Bruins here, because we all know what happened last season when they absolutely choked to the Florida Panthers in Game 7. But now with the greatest player on their team who has ever played for their team, Milan Lucic, on the backs of him, he can carry them to a Stanley Cup. Now, the Conn Smythe will go to David Pastrnak. 12 goals and 32 points for him. One of the best goal scorers in the entire game today. One of the best players as well. And there it is, the Stanley Cup being raised in Boston. Here comes Brad Marchand coming to lift it for the 2nd time in his career. First time since 2011, as the Boston Bruins are Stanley Cup champions yet again. Caitlyn Jenner is going to lead the NHL in scoring for the playoffs. 18 goals and 37 points. He was over a goal per game, which is crazy. Johnny Hockey had 33. Pasta was up there. Forsberg had 30. Marchand, 29. Lucic had 16 goals and 26 points. Roman Josi was up there as well. Jenner will win the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Matthews is going to take home the Maurice Richard, the Norris, the Colton Parayko, the Conn Smythe to David Pastrnak. Vasi is going to win the Vezina, and the Selke will also go to Bruce Jenner. So a very, very good season by him. Caitlyn Jenner is back and better than ever, baby. Now, at the end of the final season, the Detroit Red Wings are going to be the best team in the regular season, as they go 53-24-5, followed by the Columbus Blue Jackets. Dallas was up there, the Rangers, Colorado. Edmonton was way down here at 9th, 44 wins. Mason Marchment is going to go ahead and lead the entire NHL in scoring with 120 points, followed by McKinnon's 119. Robertson was up there. Kyle Okposo had 110. Crosby has been silent this entire video, but now he has 100. Patrick Kane was up there. Bruce Jenner, 105. He's been dominant. Now for the goal side, Matthews is going to lead with 61, followed by Lafreniere's 58. Okposo had 58 as well. McKinnon, Marchment had 57. Tom Wilson had 53 and 103 points. Erik Karlsson is going to lead all D-man in scoring, 98 points. Makar had 96. Parayko, 92, 25 goals. Shea Weber had 31 goals. Ben Sherratt was up there with 23 goals and 83 points. Jake Ottinger and Connor Hellebuyck and Ville Husso are going to tie for the most wins at 41, and for the most shutouts, it's going to go to Jonas Korpisalo, of all goaltenders, who is not having a great season at all in Ottawa, with 5 on the season, followed by a lot of people who had 4, literally half the NHL goaltenders. And this is our final playoff bracket of the video, and in the Stanley Cup Final, we have the Dallas Stars up against the Toronto Maple Leafs. I believe 2 teams that have lost in the Stanley Cup Final in the video, so let's see who's going to go on, get the revenge, and win their very first Stanley Cup of this simulation. And the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to get the revenge as they defeat the Dallas Stars in 5 games in the Stanley Cup Finals, pretty much running through them, just like, well, I'm not going to get into that detail again. That was definitely uncalled for. Actually, no, Dallas did win a Stanley Cup in the simulation. Mason Marchment was the Conn Smythe winner, so Dallas did not get number 2. It was spoiled by the Toronto Maple Leafs. Man, my memory is getting worse and worse pretty much every single video I do, honestly. As Ryan Reeves, of all people, is going to win the Conn Smythe. 13 goals and 31 points. Literally, I don't think he's had that in his entire NHL career. But he's going to get it in a postseason, as he's the Conn Smythe winner for Toronto, leading them to a Stanley Cup. And there it is, the Stanley Cup about to be raised in American Airlines Arena here in Dallas, as Captain John Tavares coming to fulfill his childhood dream, lifting the Stanley Cup for his childhood team in the Toronto Maple Leafs. First Stanley Cup in over 50 years, as the Toronto Maple Leafs are again Stanley Cup champions for the first time since 1967. Now for the playoffs, Matthews is going to lead with 32 points. Ryan Reeves actually scored 1 more goal than Austin Matthews in the playoffs. Let that sink in. William Nylander had 29 points. Marchment had 28. Marner was up there. Robertson, JT Miller had a pretty good playoff run as well. Mason Marchment is going to win the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy, while the Maurice Richard will go to Matthews, the Norris to Erik Karlsson, the Conn Smythe to Ryan Reeves. Ville Husso is going to win the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Matthews yet again. And that is going to do it for this video. video, boys, we've gone ahead, made every single team's best fighter a 99 overall in NHL 24, and we got some pretty good results. I mean, Dallas won one, Toronto won, somehow Edmonton won, and we had new players winning the individual awards. I mean, Caitlyn Jenner dominated a lot. She was outstanding, but that is going to do it for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments below what else you would like to see, what kind of simulation type videos. I would like to say thank you all for watching, and until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.